Anahita TV, thank you so much for joining me again. We're doing a series of 4, which are basically inspired by today's video seminar from Grant Cardone. I watched him. He's basically living down, I live in very close to the Malibu area, 15 minutes, which is wonderful. I get to drive down there whenever I want. So he basically, if it was me, I'd be at the beach playing, having fun. But instead, he's giving value add. He did a 3 to 4 hour seminar free of charge for all of us. So, it was very valuable. And the 4 points that he talked about, I'm doing, if you're tuning in, I did one about mindset. Today, I'm doing one on marketing. And then the next day I'll do one entire seminar about people and scale. He went through them and he was very thorough. I feel like each topic is so important that it needs its own video. We talked about mindset in the previous video, and I included 2 books. One is The Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell. What's his name? First name I forget. And the second book was The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton, whom I'm a big fan of, both Cardone, Bruce Lipton, and the mindset, the psycho-cybernetics doctor. He basically talked about how as humans, it's up to us, it's in our head, whatever, however you see yourself, that's what you become. So if you see yourself as a poor person, you become poor. If you see yourself as a beautiful person, you will attract the attention that you like to attract. If you see yourself as a wealthy person, you will become that person. But it's all in your image. Then you got to create that, and you can create that no matter where you're from. And a lot of the most of the basically in psycho-cybernetics, that's the whole idea. It has nothing to do with your upbringing, with your educational background, and it's all in your image. Whatever image you create, that's the type of people and the type of wealth or abundance you create for yourself, or the lack of it if you see yourself as less than. So that was mindset, the video before. So today we're going to focus on marketing. I feel like Grant's main message in today's webinar was that marketing, got to market yourself, and I want to focus on that. I think that's a huge topic in today's market. No matter what you're doing, what your business is, if you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a doctor or a lawyer, everybody, even real estate, everybody is online. I know a lot of realtors who are extremely successful because of their online presence. They're consistent. That's the number 1 key in marketing, if you're consistency. So we're going to talk about all that. People were basically the number 3 being people, is that you need people to sell to or to interact with, or also if you want to scale, it depends on the high caliber people that you meet so that you can scale your business and you become next level. So me as a person, I feel like I'm a people person, and I want to tell you this, you need to master all 4, or at least be strong in one area to create the wealth and abundance that you need. 1 or 2 areas. My number 1 is people, and that's why I get hired as a consultant. I work with real estate, and I work with a hospitality furniture company, and I also work with some doctors, and they hire me as a consultant on a very nice profitable business for me. And it's because I never knew what being so friendly and kind would bring me, and that's what it's brought me. And also being an immigrant, I feel like we moved a lot, and it made me learn how to connect to people quick, because I didn't know. I was always new at a school. Like, I went to first kindergarten in one school in one city. First grade, I was in an entirely different city, because that's when I'm from Iran, and that's when the revolution happened, the Iran-Iraq war happened, and we had to leave the city we were in, because the city I'm from is Ahwaz, which is a very rich city in terms of oil and gas, and so we're constantly being bombed by the Iraqi bombers, so we had to leave. We went and lived in a rural city when I was in first grade, but then we moved back to the city where we're from second grade, and then we moved again. So third grade I was in another school, but from 3rd to 5th I was in this school, And then by 6th grade, we left Iran and we came to the United States. And then for 1 year, I was in the United States. The following year, we were in Canada. So it moves on and on and on. So I feel like I hated it at the time, but we had no choice. I just had to run after my parents. Wherever they took me, I was gone because I was small, too young to be on my own. So I had to go, and it was also for my safety. So I am grateful for my mom and dad's decisions to bring us into the United States and then Canada and then back to the US again. So that's my journey. I'll tell you more about it as we go along. But I feel like I've lived many lives. And one of the things it did for me, having to move so much, was that I learned how to connect with people. I learned how to connect with people of different cultures and different backgrounds. And so my number one superpower of all this list is the people part. And I am a damn good closer in sales. So like that's my scale. So that's next video. So but today we're gonna do marketing. I wanna learn more marketing. I wanna follow in Grant's footsteps. And so they say if you wanna learn something, teach it. So I'm teaching it based on everything I learned today and based on some of the stuff I've done in the past. I started my YouTube video channel, Anahita TV, a couple of years ago when the pandemic started. I had always wanted to do it for many years and I didn't. And the first video was basically a good friend of mine who survived a major heart disorder, and through just becoming a raw vegan. And he healed himself when he was 18 or 19. Now he's in his 50s, he's married, he's got 3 kids, he's very successful, and he's a Tai Chi master, black belt, and he's a singer and an artist and an entertainer. So that was my first video. Check it out. I'll post the link below so that you can see it for yourself. In the meantime, let's get to it. Let's talk about marketing. And so with Grant's video, I'm gonna stick to what Grant had to say today. His main marketing point from what I took was branding yourself, and then consistency was the key. He said if you want to become wealthy, or if you want to you have to become famous first. You have to be a well-known person. And what he was saying basically sounded like it's a numbers game. Let's say you are well-known and you have this many followers. And he said if you do have any kind of followers, that means you're a celebrity. And when you have that status, then you can have many offerings of products and services for sales. And once you have that, let's say 100 people tune in. Basically based on the numbers game, let's say 10% people, that's 10 gigs right there. And let's say your item is $300, 10 times 3, that's $3,000 right there, even with 100 followers. So you don't even need that many followers to sell your product and services. So let's talk about how you could do some marketing. Some of the ways you could do marketing, we talked about becoming a known person. I put Kim Kardashian, that's one of the most famous people right now. I kid you not, if you go to Afghanistan in a village where people don't even have access to television, I'm sure the children know who Kim Kardashian is. That's how powerful the social media marketing is. And she's basically a social media celebrity. So let's talk about Hollywood. I put in, I studied, I always believed in marketing. That's why I studied. My master's is in writing for film and television. My focus was that, I saw a trend of really wholesome television, and where it descaled and it's just very unwholesome. Every time I feel like I turn on the television, it's always murder, gangsters, just the negative part of life, which is untrue. I feel like there's more beauty in life than what is shown on social media. And one of the reasons I went into writing for film and television, I was hoping to get into that field so that I could write more wholesome television things to teach people. So I'm doing it now through teaching you intuition. And I just followed my own heart and my path. And what led me here was because of a deadly illness right after my graduation. Actually, I graduated during the time that I was going through cancer. That was the last year I put on my wig, and it was really, really heartwarming and touching. I did 16 rounds of really, really tough chemo because I decided I did not want to have the mastectomies or the bad surgery. And so I did massive chemo, which meant I lost my hair, my lashes, and eyebrows. And the last day of chemo was really, really really horrible because it's a layering effect. So by the time you take your last one, your body is full of poison. And my graduation was happening in April at Pepperdine, right at Malibu, where Grant filmed this. It's very nostalgic how I'm here with you guys right now. This was back in 2018, and April 2018, I put on my wig, and I remember I had to wake up. The event was at 9 a.m. I had to wake up at 6 a.m. so I could prepare myself. I had zero energy, and I had to create that image, like what I talked about in mindset. I had to create this strong image of myself so that I could get I was skinny because I had done so much chemo. I had to pencil in my eyebrows. I had maybe 2 or 3 lashes left, which means it was really difficult to glue on my lashes. I was gluing them on because I wanted to have pretty pictures. I'll post some pictures at some point of my graduation. I actually looked really pretty. I talked in the previous video how as a kid, like this is my channel is mostly about intuition. I feel like I was so intuitive. I knew maybe in the future me was going to go through this illness, because one of the things as a child that I did was draw eyebrows, and then I mastered right eyebrow, and then I mastered matching the left eyebrow to the right eyebrow. So it was easy. It took me 5 minutes, maybe less, to do my makeup and including drawing and penciling in my eyebrows, and they always matched. If you'll see in my graduation pictures. Anywho, I'm here now. Let's talk about marketing. So marketing, in terms of what Grant was saying, was be on all the social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, what did he say? Facebook. He named all of them. He said, I'm not a fan, but they're great tools if you want to use them to brand yourself, to have a following. Once you have a following, then you can you can scale your products and services. So let's look at this list. I put that Hollywood is being replaced by social media influencers. What do I mean by that? In the past, we all we watched television, we looked up to Julia Roberts, Tom Cruise, Sylvester Stallone, and these people are still famous because they were the A-listers. They're still very well known, but I feel like I don't watch as much television as I used to. Instead, I'm following people like Patrick Bet-David. I put PBD. I love PBD and his message. He's a conservative, and he is family oriented, and that's one of the things I used to from where I grew up in Iran. We're very family oriented. I believe in the unity of family and respect. So I love him, and I love Gary Vee. He's also a very similar background. He's a Russian background, and he also believes in family, and he always talks about how much he loves his parents and how much he learned from them, how some of that old school mentality has carried him over and made him successful. And also Grant Cardone, of course, who did this event for free for all of us. I really enjoy Grant Cardone. I did meet him, as I said in my previous video, at his 50th birthday party I was invited to with my cousin, who is a good friend of Grant's. He gave us all a free copy of his first book. I believe it was called Selling, and I still have it. It's a signed copy of his book, and I read it, and it's very powerful. It helps with selling. I've always been in the sales industry, so I do love how not in the sales of a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to sales, but you actually have to be a people person and a good person to attract people to you to make an honest sale. Otherwise, people always end up returning it. If that person is a sleazy sales person and pulls something over you, you can always return it. That's not a good salesperson. So the book Selling was very intuitive and into nature of how to sell your product and services. And then I put the Kim Kardashian family. Obviously, they're the number one influencers. And where I live, I run into them all the time because I'm in the same neighborhood as they are. So I've always run into them. They're regular people. I've seen them in their PJs or like regular clothes, not PJs, but in their Lululemons or gym clothes or whatever. And I've ran into Chris, their mom, quite a few times. And they're just regular people like you and I, but they're very genius when it comes to marketing. So I believe Kim Kardashian and her family are marketing geniuses. So when you see them, they're just like you and I. And I actually ran into Kim during the pandemic this past Christmas where I was working. She came to my work with her daughter, and of course nobody bothers them. They're always in the area. So um, she was just a regular normal person like you and I, but on social media you can create the persona that you want. She's nothing like the persona that she creates on social media. So that's mindset. So she's very good at mindset. She can be herself around her family, friends, in her neighborhood, and kind of relax and be in her relaxed self. But when it comes to posting online, she gets into her mindset, and she creates that look that attracts a lot of people. The wealthy look, the abundant look. And so that's part of it. I feel like this is a chain that kind of it's linked together. So with the mindset that you have, you can create an image, marketing image for yourself, so that you can be successful and known. And one of the people I'm following now, I know he's very controversial. A lot of people may not like him, is Andrew Tate, but I do like the fact that he's helping men. I don't like people who call women bitches and hoes. I don't believe in that. That kind of turns me off. But I do like the fact that a lot of men need a voice, and that's actually locker room talk. Excuse me, I'm not a man, so I don't know. Locker room talk, and that's how men talk. I grew up, I was the only girl. I have two brothers, a dad, and the two cousins I grew up with were men. So I grew up with 5 men constantly in my life, other than my mom. It was me, my mom, and these really manly men in my life. So they were very gentle around me, but sometimes I would hear them talk, and that's when they're guys being together, just shooting the shit, as they say, and talking. That's how they talk. And I don't agree that we should put it online. Andrew, I like you. But I feel like there's a level of courtesy that we should pay to women, and the same level of courtesy goes to men. As a woman, I do respect men, and I like to say the right things and not offend them, so that we can get along. But my point with Andrew Tate was that he is a marketing genius, and he also creates, through his mindset, he created his wealth that he has. Because when he was poor, he talks about how he would get angry when he would see some guy in a Ferrari, or he would get angry when he saw someone really buff and good looking, or had a lot of money and was able to go to this restaurant, buy whatever they wanted on the menu. So he achieved it because he changed his mindset. He decided he was going to be a wealthy person. And right now he's doing a lot of social media marketing. He's marketing, I don't believe he's selling anything when he's marketing, but he's selling an idea, and he's selling the idea of a man taking care of himself physically to compete with the other guys in their class today. And he's saying that there are a lot of lonely men, which is very sad. I'm getting off topic, I'm sorry. But again, marketing, like, he puts on the glasses, so he's a different persona when he's marketing his brand, which is himself. He's no longer on YouTube, but then he's coming through through his friends' social media accounts. So even though he was canceled, he's still able to come through other avenues to YouTube. So YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, what else? Facebook. These are the places you can market yourself and brand yourself. Figure out who you are, what you're trying to sell. Or if it's not any kind of sales or services, if you're just trying to sell an idea, kind of like what I'm doing. I do have a Reiki practice, so I do offer that. However, most of my videos are about intuition, and I want to teach people how to create that in their life, how to allow themselves to be more creative and more intuitive, and tune into their heart chakra, and tune into who they are when they were kids and what their dreams were, and to try to manifest that as adults, which is what I'm doing So I'm kind of growing with you and learning with you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to talk about people. That's my area of expertise. Hopefully I can help you gain some knowledge and that you can use. Thank you, and have a blessed day.